Good evening and welcome to the channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be sowing more seeds, transplanting some items that I've already planted, and starting another bucket for the spring growing season. So if you'd like to see me do that, stay tuned. This bucket has been fertilized and is just sitting here waiting for me to get on my seed sowing. As you can probably see, I'm trying to do better this year, and I've already placed my stake inside of my container. And today I'm going to be sowing a few things. I'm going to first start out with moving this mulch out of the way so that I can expose the soil and be able to start sowing those beautiful seeds. We are having some nice weather, and I want to take advantage. And I want to take advantage of that. Move that out the way. All right, so in the center, I'm just going to move the soil a little bit. Take this out of the way. And the first seed I'm going to sow is some sprouting broccoli. So let me go into my seed sowing container and take a look. I was going to start some early sprouting broccoli, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant two different broccolis. The first one I'm going to plant is the E20, and the second one is the early sprouting broccoli. So let's get started. And I've never been successful at growing broccoli, partly because I've really never given it a try. So I'm going to try some broccoli. Can you guys see how big those seeds are? So pretty. I'm going to place about 4 seeds right around here, like so, hoping that I get them to grow. Now I'm going to put my seed over my container and drop the seeds back in, because in my last video, I was dropping seeds everywhere. Now, granted, it was windy, but that's still no excuse for losing a seed. Second seed is going to be the early purple sprouting broccoli. My spouse was telling me about this one. His sister grew it and he wanted to try this one. So early sprouting broccoli it is, and that is about 4 seeds, give or take. Put that one back in there, and let's cover that up. Now you can probably see the soil is dark in the center. That's because I watered this container in last night, but I will be watering it again to activate those seeds. I'm just going to press the soil down like so and move on to the next item I'm going to be planting. Now that we have our broccoli seeds sown, I am going to make a hole, and I am going to plant some onions. Excuse the plane overhead. Hang on a minute, guys. Let me let that move away. All right. It is trying to go a little bit further, but I think you all can hear me. So I'm going to make a hole right here in the front, just like that. And I'm going to actually transplant an onion that I took out of my container in the opposite side of the garden. Place it in like that and press around the edges. Let me use my left hand like that. There we go, firm it in. And I'm going to go over here and do the same thing. Move some soil out of the way, make a hole, and Put the onion down in there like that. Hope you guys can see. Make a bigger hole. There we go. And cover it back up like so. Press down around it like that. And that's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mulch and rake it back over the center and get it away from the edges because I have more yet to plant. And I'll show you what that is in just a moment. I felt like you guys couldn't really see too well, so I moved you up a little bit. Now the next seed I'm going to sow are some beets, and I have those inside of my seed box. And I'm trying to get rid of some old beet seeds. I don't know whether or not they're going to grow for me. Let's see. I have some colorful beets. They are a mixture, and I think I'm going to plant these. I also have the gourmet beet blend. They're basically the same thing, just a different seed maker. This one is botanical interest, and this one is seeds of change. So I'm going to put this one in the container, close that up, put it back in the box. And the birds are active today. There's a bird over there really chatting it up. It looks like a blue jay. Very talkative today. Can you guys see those seeds? Now, if you didn't know, beet seeds are a cluster. Let me get a few in my hand. Beet seeds are a cluster seed. So when you plant one of these, you will more than likely get anywhere between 2 to 3 beets that come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a gloved hand because that's how I like to do things. And I'm going to move a little bit more soil, just like so. As well as over on this side, expose a little bit more soil, just like so. And I am going to spread out some seeds, trying not to get too many too close together because they're relatively big. You can see them. And I'm trying not to hit that dome, but I'm not doing a very good job of it. So I'm just placing my seed. That one. There we go. I'm placing my seed all around the back edge of the container. I'm going to get some more seeds off camera and put them in my hand. You all don't need to see me do that. And I'm going to place more seeds around the back of the bucket. And I'm hoping that these seeds are viable. I do not know because I've had them for a little while, and I am trying desperately to get rid of any seed that I think might be past its sell-by date and replace them with new seed. And now that I think about that, I think I might want to put a few more extra just in case. So let me speed that up while I do that, and I'll be right back. Now that I've planted my beet seeds, I'm going to go and take this soil and mulch and move it back over those seeds, just like so. And off camera, once I finish planting everything, I am going to water this in. Now I'm just going to press it down so that the soil has contact with the seeds. It's not altogether necessary because I am going to water this in thoroughly, but I just want to make sure that there aren't any air pockets. All right, now that I have that done, I am going to plant one last thing right here towards the front. And I'm not sure, I might have planted some marigold seeds. I can see a little bit of remnants of marigold. At least I think I do. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to move that soil. I'm going to leave it just in case. I did plant marigolds up front. I'm just going to pat that down And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this mulch right here in between these onions just a little bit. Not a lot of it, because what I'm going to plant right now just needs to be surface sown. The next thing I'm going to plant is some German chamomile. Now, I got these seeds a while ago from a content creator, and I don't know, because I can't remember who that was, but I try my best to get seeds from a lot of different sources. Well, maybe not a lot, just a few. Just a few. All right, now these are tiny little bitty seeds. Can you guys see that? I have gardener's hands. My hands look terrible. Excuse that, but they're tiny little bitty seeds. And I'm just gonna see if I can sprinkle them right on top of the soil right there. Right, just like that. Just pinching them and putting them on the top of the soil in the hopes that I can get some chamomile. Now, because this seed is kind of like dangling right there on the end of the packet, can you guys see that? I'm going to try to take those seeds and put those there as well. And the reason why I'm doing that is because this has static, and those are not going to fall back into this container. I'm sorry, they're not going to fall back into this bag. There's static in this bag for some strange reason. So it's going to be a pain in the neck to try to get those seeds back in there. So I'm just trying to get them off of the bag so I don't lose any. And now I'm just going to close the bag up and shake it upside down just in case. I got some right here. Try to get them out like that. So I don't want to lose any of these seeds. I've already lost one beet seed today, and that's just one too many seeds for me. 2 days in a row, and I've been losing seeds. All right, everybody. I know y'all are sick of seeing this, but let me move on. And that is all I'm going to put in this container. I'm going to move on to another container and see what else I'm going to plant today. This beautiful container I pulled out of my makeshift enclosure. This contains some, I think it's the Paris Island lettuce. I actually put 4 different types of lettuce in here, and this is all that showed up. So I think this is the Paris Island. Either way, it's delicious. I need to harvest some so that it can continue to come back. I use this as a cut and come again. But I am going to be sowing 2 extra items in this pot today. I have some space that you all can't see at the moment. I'm going to show you where those are, and then I'm going to do some sowing. Right here in the front, if I move my leaves back, as you can see, a few of my leaves are turning a little bit yellow down here, so it's time to do my cut and come again. But I am going to do a cut and come again. So I have some space right here in the front, and once I do my cut and come again, they will be a lot more visible. So I'm going to place some strawberry spinach right here. Let me move this out of the way. Right in here, and I think I have another something growing, so I'm going to leave that right there. You all can't see it. Let's see if I can move this over. I've got a little baby something growing right there. I hope you guys can see it. My finger is right at it. So I'm going to move this over, and I am going to be planting a gifted seed that I got today. Can you guys see that? I'm going to be planting some strawberry spinach right here in this pocket, right in the cut. So this is an extremely tiny seed, so I really don't need to bury it in the soil. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this mulch back just a tiny bit, and I'm going to lay this on the surface of the soil, and I'm trying not to disturb that little baby that's growing. So I'm going to go in this direction over here. So I'm going to expose a space right here, and then I'm going to sow this seed. Now, one of my gardening friends gave this to me today. Let's see. I don't know if you all will be able to see, but can you all see down in there, right there in the corner, right here, where the shadow of my finger is? A tiny, tiny little bitty seed. I might only have like, I don't know, couple of little seeds down there. So I'm going to pour them in my hand over the bucket, trying not to lose any. I have a couple in my hand. I know y'all probably can't see that because the sun is shining, but they're really, really very tiny. And so I'm just going to take, I've got about 4 little seeds, and I'm just gonna let them fall in the bucket right there. I'm not even going to bother to try and put those under the soil because they don't need to be. They just need to rest on top of the soil. So I'm going to leave those there just like that. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to take a tiny bit of that mulch and move it back over the top of those seeds, just to make sure that when I water this in, those seeds hopefully don't get pushed too far up under the soil, and that area will stay moist. I'm going to get a leaf or two and put a couple of leaves right in that area, and hopefully I'm getting the leaves on top of those tiny little bitty seeds, so that when I water, they don't fall too far up under the soil. And hopefully, just like that, they will germinate for me. Hopefully the leaves will allow that area to stay moist enough so they can give it a chance to germinate. Now on the other side, I am going to plant some beets, I think. Am I planting beets? No, I'm planting leeks. I've already planted beets, so let's get some beets. Scratch that. I planted the beets. Now it's time for the leeks. The sun is in my eyes and I can't even read my own label. So right here, I know the sun is pretty bad. Let's see if I can move this out of the way. All right, how is that? Now last but certainly not least, I am going to be planting some leeks. I have 2 different types of leeks. I have the broad London and I have the American flag, but the broad London is open, so that is what I will be planting today. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my lettuce out of the way. I'm going to expose some soil right here. We're going to just push this. Matter of fact, I'm going to take this out. Take this out for just a second. And again, I will be harvesting this lettuce, so I will have more exposed soil. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plant right along here. Okay. So let me open up this bag. Like so. And it says that the leeks in my area are good anywhere between, well, that's kind of hard to say. Maybe February, April, and August through September, maybe. Maybe. Kind of hard to say. But though, can you guys see those? Those are leek seeds. Put them in my hand. They look just like onion seeds, just like that. They're relatively big, so I'm gonna lift this little lettuce up who's struggling with its life. Lift it up and out of the way, hopefully not dislodging it from the soil, because it is struggling a little bit. Let's see, here we go. Just prop it up a little bit. All right, now I'm gonna take these onion seeds and leek seeds. I can't talk this afternoon. And I'm gonna put just a few of them in here and see how many come up. And depending on how many come up, I am more than likely going to be transplanting some of these, even though they don't really like it too much, but they will transplant. I'm gonna put a few more because this lettuce is not going to last in this container for me all summer long. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put maybe a couple of leek seeds inside here and see if I can get some leeks to grow inside, come up through the lettuce, because once the heat starts to really get going in my area, the lettuce is just going to be no more. I won't be able to grow it. It'll be too hot. So let me clean this off over here, and then I'm going to turn this pot around like so. I have a few more seeds in my hand. I'm going to move these leaves a little bit over like so. And I'm just going to place these last few little leek seeds right in there, just like that. And that's it. That's all I am planting today. I'm going to water everything in, give everything a nice drink. If you all like this video and videos like this that I've been making, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Share my video. Subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment. I try to respond to as many comments as I can. I greatly appreciate all of the interaction and the participation. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.